Yes. Oh, it is. It is. A Friday episode of Donno Daily here on the 5 Reasons Sports Network. I am Alex Donno. We had to go live a little bit early today. We had to hit it a little bit early today, and we're going to get to some Dolphins and some sports bets a little bit later on. But I wanted to devote as much time as possible at the top of the show to talk about the Miami Hurricanes situation, where it's starting to look like if they get their wish over the next few days, they might actually be hiring a head coach, or at least trying to hire a new head football coach before they announce an athletic director. There are significant updates now on that topic, and of course, I had to change the jerseys in my backdrop. I know the one near the window is a little bit washed out from the beautiful South Florida sunlight. But that one's a Ken Dorsey, and I got a Jim Kelly over there. You know I'm all about the U. You know that this whole process on athletic directors and on a head coaching search that's not even officially a head coaching search because you haven't let go your current coach. Manny Diaz is still out there recruiting. There's a lot going on. Hello to John Featherland out there. And guys, before we dive headfirst into, it's me, Mario. Before we dive headfirst into that, because there are some updates there. I want to remind you guys that we have an official sports bar here on Donno Daily. Official sports bar of the 5 Reasons Sports Network, the Quarterdeck Seafood Bar and Neighborhood Grill. This is your spot to watch every Heat game, every Florida Panthers comeback. That team is so fun to watch. Every NFL game, every college football game, conference championship games this weekend. You will not find a better spot than the Quarterdeck Seafood Bar and Neighborhood Grill. Their seafood is so fresh and so delicious, guys. The sandwiches and burgers, the baby back ribs. They got 2-for-1 happy hour all day, every day. And if you go out there tomorrow and Sunday to watch the college football conference championship games, the NFL games on Sundays, you can take advantage of the 5 for $15 ice cold buckets of Heineken Light, Heineken, Amstel Light, Dos Equis, High Noon Hard Seltzer. Mix and match those to your heart's content. The beer is always cold at the Quarterdeck. To find the location nearest to you or peep their menu before you go, check them out at quarterdeckrestaurants.com. The Quarterdeck, come for the food, stay for the fun. And yes, my friends, we have an official sports book here on Donno Daily. And yes, you can use betus.com in Florida. Place bets to your heart's content on every sporting event, every league you can imagine, from the NFL, NBA, international soccer, NHL, betus.com. It's like having Las Vegas in your pocket. And folks, when you sign up with our code, we have a show code, 5RSN125. When you sign up with our code, 5RSN125, and take the under on Duncan Robinson made threes or the over on missed threes, whatever lingo you can get. Just bet on Duncan Robinson to miss threes at betus.com. Use our code 5RSN125. You'll get the best bonus in the industry, 125% sign-up bonus. You're not going to find bonuses like that anywhere else. They are America's favorite sports book. You bet, you win, you get paid. betus.com. Definitely use the code. So here's what's going on. And, Manny, pull up a couple tweets if you can. First, from Barry Jackson. So Barry Jackson of the Miami Herald, who, folks, this is a reporter you can trust, okay? I'm not saying Barry Jackson is batting 1,000. Maybe there have been times when Barry Jackson was given information that's not correct information, but when it comes to responsibility, accuracy, Barry Jackson for the Miami Herald is among the best in the business, period, and among the best locally. Now, Barry Jackson, within the last couple of hours, has reported that in the coming days, and this is something, of course, we have suspected, and now Barry's reporting it, in the coming days, the University of Miami are going to make a run at Mario Cristobal to be their next head football coach. Now, the timing makes total sense because throughout this week, Mario Cristobal has been preparing his team, the Oregon Ducks. They're going to be playing in the Pac-12 championship game tonight against Utah. We are all Utes, by the way, because I would imagine Cristobal winning that game tonight would not really help Miami's cause. Him losing the game might. So we're rooting for the Utes tonight, okay? So, it would make sense that if Miami's going to make a legitimate, earnest run at trying to convince Mario Cristobal to leave Oregon, where he's done very well for himself. And, their program, they've got Daddy Knight just lining their pockets with cash. So I'm not going to say it's not a good job. I mean, Mario Cristobal has a really nice job right now at Oregon, but Miami is going to try to convince Mario, former football player, Miami alum, former assistant coach at the U. They're going to try and make a run and bring Mario Cristobal home to Miami. So my emotions heading into the next few days, I'm getting very nervous and very anxious because this is my hunch. I've really in recent days started to feel like the way Miami's decision makers are looking at their coaching situation, and we still technically have a head coach, it's Manny Diaz. The way the administration, the powers that be, are looking at this coaching situation is it's either Mario Cristobal or Manny Diaz. That if they can't get Mario, they keep Manny. And it makes sense because if they were dead set on getting rid of Manny Diaz, they would have got rid of Manny Diaz. I mean, if they wanted to do an actual full national search where they're interviewing candidates left and right and trying to fill a coaching vacancy with just about anybody, they would have already let Manny Diaz go. The fact that Manny Diaz has been in limbo, he's been in purgatory since that Duke game. He's out there going into living rooms, recruiting players, recruiting parents, not being able to really answer questions about whether he's going to be the coach in a few days or not. The fact that they've kept him around, hung him out to dry, left him in limbo tells me that Manny Diaz is the backup plan. He's the safety net. Cristobal is the guy that they want to go after. That's the one where they're putting all the eggs in the basket right now. And if they can't get Cristobal, I would imagine they're probably keeping Manny Diaz. Now, you know me. There are other people out there I like. I'm a big Lane Kiffin fan. Not over Mario. Not Lane over Mario, but I'm a big Lane Kiffin fan. I would consider Lane Kiffin to be an upgrade over Manny Diaz. I'd be happy to have him at Miami if Mario Cristobal didn't want to come. But outside of a report from a couple weeks ago, which was probably leaked by Lane Kiffin or by his agent, that Kiffin would take the Miami job if offered. Outside of that, which clearly came from Lane's people, haven't heard anything substantive coming out of Miami that they're going after Lane. So I don't know if Miami is interested in Lane or not. We don't have any evidence of that. I think we have plenty of evidence that Miami's interested in Mario. So Lane Kiffin, he says 10-2 seasons at FAU and Ole Miss for the first time ever. Hey, you're preaching to the choir. You're preaching to the choir, IMAX, and I love your screens, by the way. IMAX are way better than the regular movie screen, so I'm a huge fan. So you're preaching to the choir here. I would take Lane, absolutely, but I don't really have any evidence, and I want to bring Manny Chang into the conversation. I really don't have any evidence that Miami is on the Lane train, even if Donno's on the Lane train. It sounds to me, Manny, if they can't get Mario, they stick with your namesake, Mr. Diaz.
First of all, how does my video look?
I mean, it looks fine. I mean, good. Lucky for you, Barry's tweet is taking up most of the screen, so your giant head can only fill so much of the screen.
That's totally fine. My question is, why would well-established head coaches in college football like Mario Cristobal and Lane Kiffin all of a sudden say, you know what? Let me go to Miami. Have they not seen the total mess that it's been from administration to AD to all these things that are going on? Mario, maybe because of his connections with with Miami and whatnot. But why would any polished head coach want to go deal with this mess?
Couple things.
And,
I mean,
and I'm saying it like if it was Florida State, Notre Dame, right? You look at the stuff that's happening on top. You are well established where you are. You're getting to run the program the way you want it to. Nobody's telling you got to do things my way, right? You basically run the show. You are your own boss. Why would anybody of that top nature come back down? And please don't tell me it's Miami, because I've been told by a lot of hierarchies in the last week or so that I talk to on a daily basis, Miami's just not that job anymore that people used to say, you know what? I'm not being a hater, Dan. I'm being totally honest with you.
You're absolutely
I'm not being a hater.
Yeah, you got to.
Miami hasn't won anything in 20 plus years. You tell me, why would any top head coach say, let me go to Miami?
Well, let me start with this, because you brought up something. A lot of people will make the argument, look at Miami's athletic department. They don't spend, they don't invest, they do everything on the cheap. I can tell you with loads of confidence, they're trying to change that. And they're not as poor as they've wanted you to think in recent years, because that UHealth hospital investment is making them barrels of cash. They have money. It's been how they've chosen to budget that money. They can invest in athletics. In fact, They have already approved, according to reports, good reports from people like Barry Jackson, injecting $25 to $30 million into the athletics department. And obviously you can spend that on a number of different things. You can spend it on coaching, you can spend it on facilities, you can spend it on infrastructure, but they actually want to start spending the type of money that the bigger players in college football are spending. So you look at this situation, I think financially and resource wise, they want to make this job more attractive for top level head coaches. So you can't compare the Miami of yesterday to the Miami of tomorrow, because financially they want to bring Miami up to snuff with some of those other programs. Let me start with a guy like Lane Kiffin. Now, Lane Kiffin clearly wants the job. Lane is clearly interested in the job. So you look at the opportunity going into a situation where it sounds like Miami actually wants to open the pocketbooks and spend. You think about where Kiffin is right now. He's at Ole Miss. He's in the SEC wood chipper. And Ole Miss, it would take a Herculean effort to bring Ole Miss up to the par with the other powers in the SEC, because the SEC is a gauntlet. Then you look at the ACC. Who's the power? Clemson. And I think Clemson, they're on a down year by their standards this year. I think Clemson's going to be back at some point because they have just so many resources and they're still recruiting like crazy mofos with the way that they're bringing in top talent. But really outside of Clemson, I mean, what are you competing with? Florida State, that program's in the shitter. I mean, every now and then you'll see programs like
that shitter program beat you this year, so I don't think you're allowed to say
which is another reason why you can't keep Manny Diaz.
Oh, I mean, listen, not to mention Florida with a interim head coach with a bunch of players that didn't even play still beat that shitter team that you called. So
well, and now you're making my arguments for me, because Florida State, 4 straight years, these losers aren't bowl eligible. They are awful. Florida State's program, and they're both not in great shape, but Florida State's program is in worse shape right now than Miami's. And yeah, they did beat Miami, and that was all on coaching. That's a reason why you can't keep Manny. So Manny Chang is making my arguments for me against Manny Diaz.
Keep Manny Diaz, baby.
You'd love that, wouldn't you, Mr. Gator fan? He would love that. So and then the thing with Cristobal, yeah, I think for him, the pull, and I'm nervous. I'm really, really nervous. Like, I'm not going to be one of these guys who's going to sit here and tell you Cristobal's absolutely coming, because I've seen that a lot, right? You see these people out there who, they know somebody, they got a friend or a relative who knows a board of trustees member, and they've got all their great sauces and sources. I got a few sources, but all my sources are telling me different things. So I don't know who's right and who's wrong. Somebody's got to be wrong, and maybe somebody's right, okay? I'm not going to guarantee you that Mario Cristobal chooses Miami over Oregon. I'm not. But why would he do it? Cristobal, I can tell you for a fact, has told folks in recent years he didn't want to work with Blake James. Blake James was fired. Cristobal, we have been told at the 5 Reasons Sports Network, sources have told us that Mario Cristobal interested in Miami. Now, it's not a guarantee that he would leave Oregon for Miami, interested in Miami, but he wanted commitments on Miami investing more financially into the football program. And again, I don't want to repeat myself time and time again, but there's a lot of evidence that they are doing that they're going to make big financial investments in the program. Then you add in the fact that Cristobal's from here. His mom lives here, Columbus high grad, University of Miami, former player and alumnus and all of that. You've got to hope that pull towards home means something. But I am nervous. I'd be lying to you if I said I wasn't nervous, because here's the alternate timeline. This is how it could go tonight, right? Whether Oregon wins or loses. If Oregon does beat Utah, who already beat Oregon, but if Oregon does beat Utah tonight and they hoist another Pac-12 championship, even if maybe they lose the game, they still may not want to lose Cristobal. Unfortunately, the very, very deep pockets that donate to that Oregon Ducks program, the founder of Nike himself, Phil Knight. I don't know exactly how much money God has, but I'm pretty sure Phil Knight has more money than God. This man is worth $50.7 billion.
Let me just look at the new Nike shoes that came out today first. Oh wow, look at that! They've sold over 500,000 in 3 hours.
Can you do me a favor, Manny, and stop buying Nike shoes, because you buy so many sneakers? If Manny Chang stops buying Nike shoes, they might go out of business. If I could just get one guy, if I could just get Manny Chang to stop buying Nikes, Phil Knight is going to be penniless within a month.
No, man, you can't spin this on me. Seriously.
I need you to help me out here. Need you to help
All
me.
right, well,
Start buying
listen,
Adidas, okay?
Call Phil Knight, tell him that Manny Chang wants every single exclusive that comes out from here going forward, and Mario Cristobal can come to Miami. There you go.
Yeah, but long story short, I'm definitely nervous because even if Mario isn't playing it like this on purpose, like he might legitimately be torn by the idea of staying in Eugene versus coming home to Miami to coach at his alma mater. He might be legitimately torn, but we've seen how this movie ends before, right? And how many times have we seen somebody like Nick Saban do this? He hasn't done it so much in recent years, but when he was a little bit younger, he would do this, where somebody like Texas had a coaching vacancy while Saban was at Alabama. And Saban and his agent would make sure Nick gets linked to that job. And then, by God, here comes Alabama with a blank check to extend Nick Saban and make him even higher paid. So would it surprise me if within the next few days, right? Because I think Miami wants to move quick on this. And I think with the Pac-12 championship game happening tonight, I think Mario and his agent and the people at Oregon are going to want to address this shortly after the game. So the next few days are going to be nuts, right? I would say within the next 72 hours, we're going to know if Cristobal is coming or not. I think that this is going to move quickly one way or the other, right? And from the Oregon side of it, I would be shocked if at some point after this game tonight, Phil Knight doesn't ring up Cristobal or even meet with him in person, hell, and offer him a lucrative extension, financially keep him at Oregon. And I'm sure whatever Mr. Knight can offer, because unfortunately for us, Manny Chang buys so many of his sneakers. The guy is so incredibly rich. I have a hard time thinking, and I know I've said it, I think Miami has more money than some of you think, and Miami is willing to invest more money than they ever have before. You're not going to win a bidding war with Phil Knight. You're taking a knife to a gunfight. You're not going to win a bidding war with Phil Knight. So yeah. Still one source close to Cristobal told me late, and this is the guy from the Oregonian. This is a quote.
Yep.
From
this
the writer.
Is straight from there. They just had this out about an hour and a half ago, but that's very important though too.
Wow.
As well. Yep.
Wow, one source close to Cristobal told me late Thursday night the mom issue is rough, and I mentioned his mom. His mom lives here in Miami. The mom issue is rough. They're very close, and he's struggling. And that's John Canzano is the columnist from the Oregonian who put that out, and he had tweeted out about an hour ago. He said, just updated this column with new information. He says, battle for Mario Cristobal between Miami and Oregon feels near. Per a source, quote, they are going after Mario. And if you're a Miami guy who wants Cristobal, just the fact that John Canzano, who's a well-reputed columnist from the Oregonian, is writing things like this and tweeting things like this. If you're a Miami guy who wants Mario, take this as a big positive, because guys, I've been reading the tea leaves with the folks who cover the Oregon Ducks in recent days. Up until today, they weren't taking the Miami stuff seriously. Maybe a few odds and ends here and there, but the serious reporters and writers like John Canzano, they didn't seem to see Miami as a threat for Cristobal earlier this week. They were brushing it off like, oh, don't worry. Why would Mario leave Oregon? All the stuff that Manny Chang was saying. Why would he leave Oregon for that mess? Doesn't make any sense. Phil Knight's just going to give him an extension. Don't even worry about it. So I can smell their fear now. Like I can smell the fear of the Oregonian folks. All that they have left in their state is the last blockbuster video. That's when Mario Cristobal leaves. That's all they're going to have. The last blockbuster video on planet Earth is in, I want to say it's in Lynn, Oregon, something like that. I watched a documentary about it months ago on Netflix. That's all they're going to have left. When Mario Cristobal leaves, all they're going to be is a forgotten state between California and Washington with the last blockbuster. That's all they're going to be known for after this. Hey, Donno, says Devin Jordan, are you worried if Cristobal gets the job that current players and recruits might leave or transfer? No, because I think you're going to get more additions. I think if Cristobal were to come I think you would become even more attractive potentially as a transfer destination. Might some current players leave, enter the portal? Maybe. I mean, it's not like if they all love Manny Diaz, it's not like I would see Manny Diaz turning up immediately as a head coach somewhere else. Maybe he could get an assistant coaching job somewhere, but I don't see them following Diaz out the door. And listen, even if to make an omelet, you have to break a few eggs, right? You ever heard that cliche? You might have to suffer a little bit in the short term, but the net effect is going to be Mario Cristobal is regarded as the best recruiter in the country. Nick Saban said that about Cristobal. He was Nick Saban's offensive line coach. Saban put Cristobal in charge of his recruiting. Nick Saban, who doesn't say nice things about anybody, referred to Mario Cristobal as the best recruiter in the country. So if you're a little bit worried about 2022, maybe a few guys entering the portal because they're upset that Diaz was let go and maybe they don't want to play for Cristobal for whatever reason, I think that would be few and far between. But then over the course of the next few years, the amount of stellar recruits you would get because he's the best goddamn recruiter in the country, I think those positives would outweigh those negatives.
And last point, Alex, let's not forget that Mario is more of a coach that expects more from his players. Not saying that Manny Diaz didn't do a good job. And
he didn't expect tackling, apparently. That was one thing he didn't expect. Like, don't bother tackling anybody.
But as we all know, Mario's theme of practice is different. You are accountable for every single thing you do, from the snap of the football to what happens at the end of the play to if you get here on time. Those are things that the Miami culture has not been in, and we've seen it, right? Bad penalties, false starts, unsportsmanlike conduct. I mean, it goes on and on. That's one thing that Mario is going to bring into this program if he's hired. And if players leave, I guess, hey, they don't want to be coached better, right? It's simple as that. So
yeah. So, all right, a couple things, and we're going to bring on our guy Stephen D in a moment to talk some Dolphins. And I don't know where Hussam Patel is. Hussam Patel should be here. I wanted to do a roundtable. Stephen, though, he is more than adequate. So if it is only Stephen, we're going to have a wonderful time no matter what. But before we get into some Dolphin stuff, just bottom line tonight, we are all Utah Utes. Because I don't see how Oregon winning tonight would help our cause. I think it could only hurt if Cristobal's hoisting another Pac-12 title. So we are all Utah Utes tonight. And be anxious, be excited, be nervous. Just feel something, man. Because I believe within the next 72 hours, if not sooner, I'm covering my ass by, there you go, bet on Oregon. No! Oh, because I'm the mush. That's why you're saying bet on Yeah. So if you believe, like many of you in the chat do, that I am a mush, you may want to bet on Oregon tonight. Use our code at betus.com, 5RSN. Oh, by the way, you typed the code in wrong, man. He would have 123. It's 5RSN125. I can see what that degree from the University of Florida got you, bro. Woof. 5RSN. Thank you. 5RSN125. So yeah, be nervous, be excited, just enjoy your life. Let's bring on Utah 2.5-point favorites. Yeah, I mean, I figured because Utah won the first game between those two, and the Utes. I've been on the campus at Utah before because years ago, my brother-in-law and my sister for a few years were professors at Utah. Beautiful campus. I bowled a perfect game in their student 300 in their student union. It was amazing. Not really. I think I bowled like a 110. But no, I went bowling in their student union. It was a really, really awesome spot. So let's bring on our first guest of the day. This guy is always spreading kindness, positivity, and love. And I'm loving the hat today. I'm loving everything.
I know, right? That's fire. It's fire.
Yeah, it's like it's melting my brain because it's a Miami Heat hat and Miami Dolphins colors like that. Where did you get that? Do you know?
Bro, I have literally had people to like offer to buy this hat off of my head. That's how crazy this hat is. Because I found it at a Lids years ago down in Miami, probably 5 or 6 years ago, maybe even 7 years ago, and I've had it ever since. And I love this hat. This is one of my favorite hats.
That is a beautiful hat, and I love it. Every time Steven comes in, he's got fans, man.
Bro, you got your guy with the shoes, Manny. By the way, Manny, I'm a big sneakerhead, my guy too, and I love LeBrons. LeBrons are my favorite shoe. And
were you able to finally cop the South Beaches?
Bro, I do not have the South Beaches, but what I want right now, my Look, my favorite shoe of all time is the Red Octobers. I really want those. All right. Those are my all-time.
$12,000, buddy.
I know.
$12,000.
Then the next one are the Grinches, the Kobe's.
Okay.
I really want those. And then my third favorite all the time are the honey, the yellow LeBrons, the honeybees, I think.
Okay. Oh yeah, I get you. All right.
And those are only like 1,200.
I'll just tell you that my
Only.
favorite of all time before Alex cuts me off or whatever is the Wave Runner. It's right there tatted on me.
I ain't mad at you. All right,
Kanye.
Kanye.
There you go.
All
By
right,
the way,
Kanye.
Alex,
Easy, baby.
You'll be happy.
Alex doesn't know
It's
nothing
an
about
Adidas.
this, man. He
You
don't
guys
know
might
nothing
as well
about
be
this.
speaking Chinese, and it's
We're
not
having a
just because you're
moment.
talking
Manny and I are
LeBron.
having
I
a
know,
moment
and you know, you may be ashamed of me, Steven, to hear that.
You got
when
the
I
shoes, don't you?
Oh, absolutely. When I buy sneakers, I my budget is I do not pay more than $64.99. I go into like the discount store. I go to like the rack of like, here are the shoes from like last season, and I can get them at a discount. Oh, I love it. I think once I paid $69.99 for sneakers, and I felt so guilty, like I had thrown off an entire month's budget. So yeah, I buy dad shoes for sure. So something I wanted to get into. We'll talk some Dolphins here with Steve and D. Everybody yesterday was talking about this clip with Brandon Marshall, Phil Simms, and a couple of other dudes on Inside the NFL. Dude, and people need to understand. I take so much enjoyment when I see sports fans get triggered and like when they take the bait, trolling, whatever you want to call it. Like,
that's
bro,
Dolphins fans in general, though.
It is Dolphin fans in general, and it's like so painful because I agreed after the performance this past Sunday where I thought Tua was spectacular against the top passing defense in the NFL. I made an agreement before that game that if Tua had what I deemed to be a good game against Carolina, I would become a Tua stan. That I would no longer be a Tua skeptic. I'm full on Tua-non.
Remember, it's called Tua-nears. Tua-nears.
Tua-nears, yeah. So I am officially, and actually we talked about it on your pregame, and I told you, like I said it, that if Tua had a good game against Carolina, I would stop being a skeptic. I would stop being a hater. I would be a believer. I'm now a Tua-near. And I got to tell you, bro, I've been a Tua-near for 5 days, and it's so hard because when I see these, it is hard. And I'll tell you why. And it's nothing against Tua. It's against like the Tua-nears are getting to be almost as annoying as like the Messi and Cristiano Ronaldo fans, because every day when I log on to Twitter, I see these accounts where they have Tua's face as their avatar posting these stats of, oh, here's Tua's first 2 seasons compared to Tom Brady's first 2 seasons, and Tua had the better stats than Tom. Like, I see tweets like that all day, every day. I'm in the 5 Reasons Sports Dolphins chat, and the chat in recent months has just devolved into a few different guys in the Dolphins chat just tweeting out these these tweets where they're attacking Tua haters and like trying to debunk all these people and like dunking on people. And like, I gotta tell you, man, being a Tua hater, so much more fun than being a Tua stan. But I'm a Tua-near now. I'm all in, and I'm watching this clip from Inside the NFL. And Brandon Marshall, and I wrote down a few quotes here. They're talking about Tua, and Marshall's not really a believer. Phil Simms apparently not a believer as well. So Brandon Marshall basically saying he doesn't think Tua is special because Tua doesn't have a quote-unquote superpower, like an incredible skill that makes him stand out, right?
His last sentence is the one that triggered me. He said, Tua, and I quote, he said, Tua will be a backup in the NFL in 2 years.
I heard that.
Bro, are you kidding me, my guy? Let's get something straight. All right, number one, I deal with this on my morning show every day, all day. Tua-nears, non-Tua-nears. And it is probably the biggest cause of controversy, not only within the Dolphins community, but on Dolphins Twitter, right? And also Dolphins YouTube. And so one of the things that I love to discuss on my show is how can we have different debates and not be at each other's throats? And it's so hard to do.
Yeah.
And one of the things that I love the most about hosting a morning show each and every day is you get to see the different sides of it, right? And one of the things that I just absolutely love is when Tua-nears are like if you go to my Instagram right now, Manny, I don't know if you can, go to my Instagram at StephenDSKPL. There's a song that one of the guys who does a YouTube show, shout out to Great One DeVore. Great One DeVore found this song. It's called Tua. It's a real song. It's by a guy from New Zealand. It's in his home language. Don't ask me to pronounce
Wait, hold on.
how that language is.
New Zealand, don't they speak
Yes.
English or
No, bro. So the song is called Tua, right? Has nothing to do with Tua Tagovailoa. And
Yeah?
at the beginning of every show for the last week, I've been playing this. I went until 4 a.m, made a montage of Tua with this song in the background. Bro, it triggers everybody. People are either dying for it or hate it. And one of the things that I love about this winning streak right now is I love that the Dolphins are on a roll and the Dolphins are winning, because it doesn't matter if you hate Tua or you love Tua, the Dolphins are winning. And that's always a good thing.
Yeah,
it's always a good thing.
And so here's and by the way, that was a money quote that you gave of Brandon Marshall, which is absurd to say he's going to be back up to you. It's absurd.
Quote. I love Brandon, but I could not back him up on that.
I love him as well, but he says some crazy shit sometimes, Brandon. Like, he says some weird stuff. So Brandon Marshall said about Tua, quote, "What's his superpower? He doesn't have a superpower." And then Phil Simms added, "What is the one physical skill that's going to make you a big-time player in the NFL? When I look at Tua," he said, "I don't see that skill. Is it his running, his throwing? No. His arm is NFL average. Athletic-wise, he's okay, but nothing special." Now, I don't know if it's deliberately or if they just don't study him enough and watch him enough, but they're totally discounting his accuracy, Steve. I mean, Tua Tagovailoa, he's been well over 80% in each of his last 2 games, was 87% against Carolina.
Yep.
Yeah, completion percentage, right. Tua, he is completing on the season 70.5% of his passes. He's only behind Kyler Murray in that category. He's number 2 in the entire National Football League in completion percentage. And wouldn't you say accuracy is important? Like, did they not consider 100%. That a superpower?
It's funny because I was on the lunch Instagram, Travis Wingfield and Seth Lovett and OJ McDuffie do this thing called the lunch box, the lunch bunch over on IG. And they were talking about stats and how stats are such an overrated thing or underrated thing. And I think numbers are everything, because numbers don't lie. Numbers tell you what you can do, whether it's games started or games finished, whether it's touchdowns or interceptions, whether it's completion percentage or interception. It does not matter, because I feel like you can look at somebody's numbers and say, you know what, this is a good quarterback or he's got potential. You can go back 2 years ago and you can look at Jameis Winston. Jameis Winston threw for, correct me if I'm wrong, it was like 35 touchdowns or 33 touchdowns. But he also threw for 33 interceptions.
Right.
and you look at that year and you say, well, there's the potential there of him doing it. And if he could just cut down the interceptions, maybe he could be a decent quarterback. And you go and you look at my boy Tua, and I say my boy because he's my boy right now. All right. You go there and you say, hey, Tua, his completion, he's smart with the football. Is he throwing you for 350 yards a game and 3 or 4 touchdowns? No. But he's not throwing interceptions like that.
Right.
He's being smart with the football, and he's a game manager. And that's all we need to win a Super Bowl with a stout defense like we have, Alex.
So let's see. I think Manny is able to play the video here.
That I edited.
Quarterback position. And
right.
I don't like catching left-handed balls.
Listen, phenomenal
receiver.
human being,
Edelman who said
great
that?
leader, work ethic off the charts. But what's your superpower? He doesn't have a superpower. Peyton Manning, Drew Brees, high Q, off the charts, right? He's really smart, but that's not his superpower. What about his arm? Does he has a talented arm? No, he doesn't. What about his feet?
Good arm talent.
No, so he's a good quarterback. This is a guy that probably be a backup quarterback in about 2 years.
Our resident expert.
Well, here we
Bro,
go.
pause
Listen,
it.
Talk about
Pause it. Please pause it.
One thing. What is
you mean to tell me that he's going to be a backup quarterback in 2 years? Brandon Marshall never played with a good quarterback a day in his life, bro.
Well, so he doesn't know what good quarterbacking looks like.
He doesn't know what a good quarterback looks like.
Hey, don't you disrespect Jay Cutler like that.
Oh my God. I was actually, Steve, I loved covering Jay Cutler because I was in I covered every practice the year that he was here. He was a lot of fun to talk to, but my God, not a good quarterback, at least not at that stage of his career. Oh man. And, all right, so play a little bit more of the clip, Manny. Let's finish it out here.
the one physical skill that's going to make you a big-time player in the NFL? And then when you look at Tua, I don't see that skill. He's playing really well now. He's progressed and all that. But is he that guy that can make special plays? What is it? Is it running? His throwing? No, his arm is, NFL average. That's at best. And athletic-wise, he's okay, but nothing special. So what are you going to build and think you're a Super Bowl team without that quality? And I don't think he'll be the long-term answer.
Two more guys real quickly.
And Steve, another thing, and I talked about Tua's accuracy, and it's not only there statistically, but you and I, we watch the games. I don't think that panel actually watches the games. We watch the games. Everybody in this chat watches the games. Yep. You can see it on the field, like that needle that he threaded in that touchdown to Jalen Waddle this past week. You take it for granted because it looks like, a routine touchdown pass. That was an extremely difficult throw to thread the needle on. Like, I know a lot of people take that for granted. I do not take that stuff for granted. And then the other thing is, like, even beyond the accuracy, I do believe when you're breaking down what Tua is doing, and he's playing very well right now, you also need to add in what he's up against with his own blocking and with his own running game, which at times are completely non-existent statistically. And these have been going around from the Tuanon type of accounts, and I've verified these stats; they're real. Tua Tagovailoa, he faces more pressure per drop back than any other quarterback in the NFL, so he has the least help. And the other thing is, he doesn't have a real running game either, right? I mean, the last couple games, I've been impressed that they've gone over 100.
I'm excited about Philip
Lindsay,
Lindsay, though. I'm excited about Philip Lindsay. I think
he might not play this weekend, though, right? Didn't practice yesterday.
He practiced today. It is.
Oh, he did? Okay. But let's look at the Friday's like a walkthrough, though. I don't know how much that
he was limited in practice yesterday, and he wasn't out there with the team for like the majority of practice, but he was out there today. But the good thing is I think he brings something dynamic to this roster. A man who was only on the roster 3 days, getting 12 carries for 46 or 49 yards. The kid's got something. And I think he brings a dynamic to this team that we're missing. And so what I want to see us do against the Giants is progress. I just want to see progression. Yeah. And I think that we have seen that the last 4 weeks. And we're going to see it in this 5th week. And we're going to be 6-7, Alex Donno, going into the bye week, getting ready to play the New York Jets to go to 7-7. And then we're going to be 8-7 against the New Orleans Saints. And then it's going to be a fun last 2 weeks of the season, which is kind of where, as Dolphin fans, we always end up.
Right.
We get to the last couple of weeks of the year. We're right in it. All we got to do is win and get in. And that's where the real pressure and test is going to take place. And I got to be perfectly honest. I've said this on my morning show. I am not scared at all in any way, shape, or form. The Dolphins are making the playoffs. Mark my words, they will. Yes. Hot take. Hot take. Dolphins are getting in at 10-7, my guy. They're getting in at 10-7.
Well, and by your scenario, it's going to come down then to Week 18 against the New England Patriots. May the best Alabama quarterback win, or may the best coach win.
Whack Jones. 281-330-8004. Whack Jones, Manny.
Whack Jones.
Well, so I've been trying to really realize what Phil Simms accomplished as an NFL quarterback during these last couple of minutes. I mean, here's a guy that had an elite defense, had pretty good guys surrounded by him, right? And then for him to say that he doesn't see that Tua has the it factor, whether it's being athletic or throwing down the football down the field.
Takes one to know one.
I'm like, no wonder Jim Nantz and these guys said, hey, go away.
Go away. Have a nice day. Go away. Have a nice day. I love listening to Tony Romo. And
he's great.
He's great, right? Like, I love listening to him. You can watch Tony Romo and say, okay, I truly believe Tony Romo could be a great GM in the NFL.
I want to get Tony Romo's betting picks. Like, I don't know if he gambles or not. I don't think
he gambles.
He really should.
Nance does.
Yeah, for sure. A lot of those play-by-play guys do. Like
I know Al Michaels does because he talks
Al Michaels
about it.
For
Collinsworth
sure.
Does.
Brent Musburger, full-on degenerate. Like he's actually,
he's
I think,
in Vegas too.
He's
play-by-play guy for the Raiders. Did you hear? I know this is not Dolphins related, but this blew my mind. I read a rumor yesterday that supposedly the Raiders are going to make a trade offer in the offseason to the I want to say the St. Louis Rams, the Los Angeles Rams, for Sean McVay, and it's going to consist of 4 first-round draft picks.
Whoa! For Sean McVay? 4 first-round draft picks?
That
Oh
would
my
be
By the way, I
crazy.
will top you on this one, Steven. So I've been hearing, as I think the report actually came out maybe like a month ago, but I've been hearing that the Eagles are probably waiting to see what happens with Russell Wilson and to see where the 3 picks of the first round end up being for them. See if
Yeah.
they toss that over to Seattle plus a little bit more.
That would
to
make
get Russell
sense.
Wilson.
If I were Philly, I'd go all in for that.
Oh,
You look at the
hey,
top
I'm in.
10. You look at the top 10 right now. 3 teams have 2 picks in the top 10 pick. The
Yeah.
Jets, the Giants, and the Eagles all have 2 picks in the top 10 if the season were to end today. That's how it would be. That's crazy.
Wow.
That's crazy.
That is
So-
wild.
It's insane, man. Look, I mean, here's my position for this weekend, man. We play the Giants. Glennon is going to start,
Yeah.
and we're going to destroy them. We're going
Yes.
to destroy
And,
them.
and on
this
that
weekend.
note, I see a couple people on Twitter making jokes about how, Daniel Jones is out. That's advantage Giants. Listen, Daniel Jones is bad, but the Giants actually found a backup quarterback who's worse than Daniel Jones because Mike Glennon, he is a train wreck. He is. I've been referring to him this week. He's a Walmart Joe Flacco. He's got the same. He's got the same mobility and
plays in the same city.
Plays in the same city. He just doesn't have the arm talent. So he's got the lack of mobility with none of the talent of Joe Flacco. That's who the Dolphins are going against. They're going to sack him 5 or more times this week.
Bro, so what do you think about, real quick, what do you think about Jalen Phillips and Javon Holland and
Balling.
Jalen Waddle, bro?
Balling.
Right?
I'm glad you brought that up because I was looking at this story. I think they published this in DolphinsWire.com today. I don't have the full top 10 in front of me, but they noted that in ESPN, they released their list of the top 10 rookies. And surprisingly, the only Dolphin that they had making the top 10 was Holland.
Was Holland.
No,
Wasn't
Holland.
Waddle. Yeah,
But
it wasn't Waddle.
They should both be in there. I guess
all
maybe
3 should be.
All 3 should be. I can understand top 10 because Jalen Phillips had kind of a slow start and now he's ball. I could see maybe leaving Jalen Phillips just out of the top
Let
10.
Phillips get 3 sacks again this weekend. Let him
probably
get 3
will,
sacks again
and then he'll be in the top 10. But it's they should all 3 be in there. You're right. But to not have Waddle in there with Holland, that's criminal.
Javon Holland is the steal of this past draft. There is no doubt in my mind that he is the steal of the draft. And I'll do you one better. With the exception of Kyle Pitts, I think Jalen Waddle's the best wide receiver of this draft. So the Dolphins could have easily
You are not gonna disrespect my man Smith, bro. You are not
Devontae who?
My man,
Yeah.
Who?
You're not. You are not gonna do that. Man.
The bad
I'm
Alabama
going
receiver.
You are not gonna
I'm
do
going
that.
to.
Man.
100%. I would say
You're not
Jalen
gonna
Waddle's
do
a
that.
boss, my
Listen,
guy.
it's not
I agree.
his fault that my damn head coach doesn't even know how to call offensive plays, man. Come on,
Alex, how do you have
just-
an Eagles fan as your that's why he messed up. He's a Philly fan. He doesn't know nothing anyway, Alex. Come on.
And he's Manny's all over the road. He's an Eagles fan, he's like a San Jose Sharks fan or an LA Kings fan or I can't even keep track
we
of
we can't all be perfect except the 72 Dolphins. Hello.
Right. And also, Manny, this is
you
I
can
will
actually witness a Super Bowl.
I will shame Manny for this for the rest of his life. He used to be a UM football fan, a University of Miami fan. He had a tattoo of the U on his leg.
Mm-hmm.
And
but Stephen, here's what ends up happening, right?
Why'd you get it covered up?
You work for them for 10 years. You don't actually get even a response back when COVID hits. And then they don't even offer you actually help for school.
You got the
FIU
tattoo covered.
says, hey,
you got the tattoo covered way before COVID. What are you talking about? It was way before COVID you covered up.
I like how Manny was trying to pull them under the bus, and you're like, hold up, bro. I'm about to call you out, my guy.
He's trying to weave this narrative about how they disrespected him during the hard times of the pandemic. But he had a U tattoo on his leg. He got it covered up 4 years ago.
Well,
he
because
did not
Miami
get it.
didn't accept me for school, Alex. So, and you know that
You should have kept your GPA a little higher, bro.
I'm sorry.
Harder.
I had a 3
Study harder.
I had a 3.4.
Hey, FIU down the road, man. They'll get you in, my guy. FIU.
Oh, for sure. They won't even check your GPA, FIU. You got a pulse, you're in.
Hey, Alex, I feel like this is right up your alley, and I know you got to let me go here in a minute, but did you happen to see the Deion Sanders story about him bringing in the Instagram model to talk to the players?
No, but tell me more.
So this was the last thing I talked about on my morning show this morning, and I felt like it was right up your alley. So there's a Instagram model called Brittany Renner, and she was dating this NBA player called PJ Washington, and they had this big. It was a big thing all over TMZ and all that. Anyways, Deion Sanders brought Brittany Renner in to talk to his football team about women in social media and how guys holler at women in social media and how women look at men as paychecks. It's this big deal. By the way, it's great. You got to go check it out.
Oh my God.
I think Deion Sanders did the right thing. I think it's an amazing thing. But the funny part is, because of Brittany Renner, Deion Sanders is getting dragged through the media right now that he is like bringing this not wholesome girl around these young men who are their minds are easily. I'm like, come on, bro. He's trying to teach these kids. Yeah. And I thought what she said was great. If you get a chance to listen to it, I would love to know your thoughts on it because it's an amazing story.
You know what? Just the way that you told it there, and I will check it out. It kind of reminds me of. Do you remember? And they don't even do this anymore, probably because of this guy. When they used to have those NFL rookie symposiums, and Chris Carter spoke at the symposium about how you've got to have a fall guy, right? That if
did he really say that?
He said that, like, because
no way.
You see, because he did say that, and I think that's why they don't do symposiums anymore. So, like, and we all know what the fall guy is. Like, if you get caught with a little weed on you or something, you got to have, like, it's got to be somebody else who takes the fall for you. You've got to have a friend that's willing to go through the courts to protect your reputation.
No way he said that.
He said that. You got to have
a fall video evidence of that?
There's got to be. Oh, man.
That's insane.
Yeah. You got to have a fall guy.
I thought it was great, though, and big shout out to Deion Sanders, who, by the way, should be college coach of the year, in my opinion. Like what he did with Jackson State University and that program at the HBCU was absolutely amazing. And I just pray that he doesn't go to FSU. And
that's in the cards eventually, right?
I know.
It's eventually going to happen.
I don't want him to at all, though.
I don't want to either. I don't want him to. Because I like you know what? Actually, I would just hope that if they ever hired Deion Sanders as their head coach, they do it way too soon. Like we get like a notification tomorrow. Florida State has fired Mike Norvell, and they brought in Deion Sanders because I think Deion probably needs a little bit more seasoning. But like 5-6 years down the road, he might be ready for that job.
I'm telling you right now, I don't believe that. I think he is ready for that job today.
So?
I think Deion Sanders brings a perspective that other coaches don't have. And the thing that I like about what he brings to an so here's the thing. Jackson State University is one of the top HBCUs when it comes to football in the country, right? It's not the best, but it's one of the best. They had 40 out of the top 1,000 recruits visit their school 2 years ago. This past year, he got over 200 of the top 1,000 high school recruits to visit his program.
Probably more than Manny Diaz got.
That's more than anybody has gotten. Do you know why, though? Because it's Deion Sanders. Yeah. It's prime time.
Yep.
And if I'm any athletic director, I'm calling up like Ed Reed should be a head coach tomorrow. He should be a head coach tomorrow. And the fact that he's not is crazy.
Yeah, I think I differ a little bit just because I strongly believe in at least a little bit of seasoning. Like if years down the road, Ed Reed, if I feel like he's actually qualified to be the Miami head coach, he could do great for all the reasons you said. But like he's not even really technically coaching right now. Like I would want him to be like a defensive coordinator, maybe get a little bit ahead. I mean, even if it's 1 year,
Sanders wasn't, and look what he's done with Jackson State.
Yeah, but Jackson State's not Florida State, though.
I get that.
It'd be harder. It'd be so much harder at Florida State, and your flaws would be magnified when you're at a big program.
That's fair, and I think that's why Manny Diaz hasn't worked. It didn't work here.
Yeah.
Because I feel like Manny Diaz at a Boise State or a Temple, where I think he originally was going to go, I think he would have had more of a leash. You know, Temple's
got an opening. If they want to bring Manny back, I can negotiate that deal. Just send him home to Temple.
So, Stefan, I wanted to ask you, what was your thoughts when you saw Lincoln Riley take a picture as the new USC head coach, but he still had on Oklahoma sneakers. Like, was that a shot at
I
Oklahoma?
never would have noticed that. If
Because,
you hadn't tweeted that, Manny, I never would have. Are you sure those were
the man
Oklahoma
literally
sneakers?
had on burgundy gray dunks with the Oklahoma logo on it, and
I didn't
nobody
see the
noticed
logo.
that. Come on,
Wow.
man.
Wow.
That's a
Let's get
shot.
something straight. I was very, very surprised to begin with that Lincoln Riley took the job. It was because I want to say it was a Nick Saban thing. He said 2 weeks ago, I'm not going anywhere. I'm staying in Oklahoma, right?
Well, here's what he said. He said, I'm not going to LSU because that was the job he was linked to. So that was a very clever misdirection.
He was right.
He was right. He was strongly linked to LSU, and he said, I'm not going to LSU. But then he went to USC.
And I got a hot take for you. I don't see Brian Kelly succeeding at LSU at all. At all.
With that accent, maybe. He's already talking the talk. By the way, Shake Money, thank you so much for the super chat.
Yeah, man. Hey, guys, donate to the channel. Like I had, I've been doing this now 6+ months on my channel. Had the biggest donation day today.
Nice.
When you guys donate to a channel, it goes such a long way into helping that channel grow. So support 5 Reasons Sports. Subscribe to their channel. These guys are working hard over here. Donno is one of the best in the business. I can't say more perfect things about this guy.
Thank you.
Except what I need from you before I go, though, is my Alex. What is it? Who's the crazy guy? The guy.
Hold on a second.
I need my impersonation.
It's the deep
That's
state.
what I need.
You know,
No.
we are fighting a war right now between good and evil. People may not realize the battlefield that this war is being fought on right now. You've got this young man. He's a Christian man, God-fearing Hawaiian individual. Tua Tagovailoa,
The Samoan sniper.
He's
The
the
Samoan
sniper. And the deep state, the elites, the globalists. They got their puppet strings out. They're controlling people like Phil Simms, Chris Simms. I thought both of them were not good.
That Brandon Marshall fella, I swear.
That Brandon Marshall, he wouldn't know a good quarterback if it slapped him in the face, to be quite honest with you. So this is the deep state agenda right now. So I need you guys to buy some of my vitamins. I need you to spread the word about this channel, because if you're watching this right now, you are part of the resistance.
You're part of the resistance. It is hands down my favorite impersonation, dude, because you sound just like him, and you almost look like him when you have that thing on, bro.
Yeah, that's what my guy. I don't know where he was supposed to join us as well. Hussam Patel was the one who told me his little brother thought I looked like Alex Jones, so that's when I started doing the voice and wearing the tinfoil hat. But listen, I dogged you the last couple of weeks, so it was time for somebody else to you're good, man. Stand you up, bro. I felt bad. No, don't even worry about it. Things happen. I think you and Hussam may have coordinated. Like, hey, it's really funny when we don't show up. So why don't you?
It's your turn this week, Hussam.
Yeah,
I love it.
Well, listen, I love you, man. Make sure you guys follow Steven. You see it there at Steven D SKPL.
Miami Sports Music,
and there as well. And check. Cap for Life. Thank you so much, my friend, for the super chat.
Miami Sports Music, Clock Blockers every morning at 8 a.m.
It's a great show. Steve, enjoy your weekend, man. And let's
love
go
you,
Dolphins.
brother.
Love you too, man.
Phins up.
Awesome stuff there. I appreciate you guys so much for the donations. Now, this is a guy, this man is going to make all of us donations with his picks. Lee Sterling from ParamountSports.com. Lee, we missed you last week. I hope you enjoyed your Thanksgiving. We didn't even have a show on Friday, so it's not like we would have brought you on the usual Friday. So how was your Thanksgiving, Lee? I saw, by the way, the pie competition between your daughters. I saw that. That was epic.
Yeah, the youngest one pulled off the upset. She blueberry pie is good, and it's really nothing spectacular by itself. Mm-hmm. So the deck is usually stacked against her because my oldest makes a banana cream pie. Banana cream pie, if it's good, it's sensational. Yeah. But she came up with a crust, a crossed crust across the top that I don't know where she got this recipe. She must have been searching high and low for it, but it was special. It was almost like a caramelized, sugary crust. It was she pulled off the upset. So give her credit.
Sounds good. Yeah, and like I'm normally like I don't go out of my way to eat pie, but if you give me something special like that, then I'm all in. Like if like I'm not just gonna eat like any random pie, but if I know that it's something unique like that, I am in for that.
Yeah, well, we've turned it into something special because apple pie, pumpkin pie, pecan pie. It's not something that you go, wow, I gotta have a piece of those pies. So a real good banana cream pie or a blueberry pie, I think, is special. I'm trying to get huckleberries. I mean, they're hard to. Have you ever had a huckleberry pie?
I don't think I have. No.
Okay, never had huckleberries?
I don't think I have.
You're in the Northwest.
Oh,
so
really?
Do you like blueberries and blackberries?
I love them.
Okay, it's even better. So I was trying to fly them in, but for 8 pounds, it was $110. Huckleberry.
Oh my God.
So I've had a couple of huckleberry pies. It's my favorite of all time. It looks a little like a blackberry, but it's like rounder. So like I said, it's in the Northwest, and I'm going to have to find a way to fly them in at a reasonable cost for next year's contest.
By the way, before we get into some picks with you, you're a big University of Miami guy. Barry Jackson reported a few hours ago that Miami is going to make a run at Mario Cristobal. He's coaching the Pac-12 championship game tonight. I'm hoping that they lose. They've already lost to Utah this year because I figure if Oregon wins, that's not going to help our cause. Like it could only hurt, right? So I'm rooting for Utah tonight, but. I mean, Lee, do you and you probably talk to some people. I feel like we all have sources on the U, but they all tell us different things because this has been just chaotic right now. Do you have a feeling? Are you optimistic about Cristobal coming, and do you want Mario Cristobal?
I'd like Mario or Lane Kiffin. I think both would be good, but in different ways. Mario would be an incredible recruiter. I don't think he's a very good game day coach, to be honest with you. I watched a lot of the games. There was a time 2 years ago that 2 minutes to go in the game, they had a first down. He didn't take a knee. He could have taken a knee 3 times and won the game. He ran the ball. Go back and look at the tape.
Whoa.
Forget who was against. It was one of these late night games. And not a lot of people talked about it, but he made a big error in that game. So I don't think he's a great game day. I didn't think Butch Davis was a great game day coach, but I think Butch Davis made this statement one time. He said, "If I get better players than you, I'm going to win 90% of the time." So, I think that he would be a great recruiter. I think that he probably is going to come if the job's offered and the money is good enough because. What's Oregon football? What's Pac-12 football? Nothing. Going to the Rose Bowl is nothing. If he wins a national title or makes it into the Final Four, they're carrying off this guy on their shoulders. I mean, he's the local hero. So I think it's all about challenges with him. I think that's, he couldn't come back with Blake James. Blake James, from what I'm hearing, didn't make the call to him. I mean, he went straight to Manny, which was a huge mistake. So I think we're going to maybe see something happen Sunday or Monday. I'm going to guess, and I'm going to say we're going to see something Sunday. I'm going to say it's going to be Gino Torretta as the athletic director and Mario's the head coach. And if not, I'll take the Lane train. But maybe even Alonzo in there somehow. I think any one of Gino, Alonzo, Mario, or Lane Kiffin, I think they all would be great choices. So we can mix and match any of the 4, or I'm all for taking 3 out of the 4. Take Gino, Alonzo, and let's get Mario or Lane trade. Lane Kiffin would be really good. Now, people think of him as this freewheeling offensive coach that only likes to pass the ball. Watch 2 of their last 3 games against Texas A&M, against Mississippi State. They ran the ball more than they passed the ball, and they ran it right down. They just ran it right down Texas A&M's throat and did the same to Mississippi State. So his teams are tough, and I just think that both would be would be home run hires. Anyone else, I'm not so sure.
So since I mentioned Pac-12 championship tonight, and we are all Utah Utes tonight, and I believe Utah favored by about 2.5 points in Las Vegas tonight. Who do you like?
Tough game. When Utah played at home a couple weeks ago and won that game, that crowd was absolutely incredible. So I think that was part of it. I think special teams, big edge for Utah. I think it's going to be a closer game. I just still don't think that Brown, the quarterback for the Ducks, is good enough. I don't think their play calling is very good. So I would probably lean to Utah, but it's a game I'm personally not playing.
I see. So what games are you playing this weekend, Mr. Sterling? Well, what are some of the games and fights perhaps that we're looking at?
Okay, so the strongest game I'm looking at is Michigan over Iowa. I think Iowa's a fraud. Their offense, they have trouble getting first downs. There's some times, Alex, where I'll watch them get a first down and I'll rewind the tape. I'm that shocked that they get first downs. Their quarterbacks, both of them are pedestrian. Their receivers getting no separation at all. Their defense is good, but I just think Michigan's defense is on a different level. 32 sacks. I mean, Aiden Hutchinson and his defensive line, they get after the quarterback. They held teams to 54% completion percentage. Last 4 games, they gave up an average just 3 yards per carry. So I think Michigan destroys Iowa on Saturday.
Beautiful.
Fun game. I like Pittsburgh over Wake Forest. I think it's going to be a high-scoring game. Both offenses, I think, are 3rd and 4th in the country. But I think Pittsburgh's defense, ranked 2nd in the country. They had 46 sacks on the year, might be the difference. Wake Forest to get pressure. They've got a blitz in a shootout. I could see Pitt winning something like 48-42. And maybe an upset. I think you take the points in the Houston Cougars. So I've been all over Cincinnati. I mean, I loved them against Notre Dame. Mm-hmm. Really good defense, but people think of Houston as this freewheeling offense. Not the case this year. Number 6 in the country in defense. They have maybe the best player in this game, a kid named Marcus Jones. Marcus Jones came over from Troy. He's a cornerback and a kick returner. He can change a game in a moment's notice. And both quarterbacks are really good. Very similar. Desmond Ridder, a lot of people know more about him, because they're undefeated. But Houston lost their first game of the year, then reeled off 11 straight wins, all by more than a touchdown. Their quarterback, Clayton Tune, a 3-year starter, is also a dual-threat quarterback. So he can do some damage. And I just think 2.5 they got to win probably by double digits to make a statement. And I think the pressure's on Cincinnati. They're better when they're the hunter, not being hunted. I'll take the 10.5 in Houston. I think that's a game that goes down to the wire.
Any fights this weekend?
Yeah, so I like Alonzo Atomic Menafield over William Nightmare Knight. So 2 guys that are very muscular. I think Menafield's about 6 foot. Knight is about 5'10". And I've noticed that Knight has trouble fighting fighters that have a reach advantage over him. And 2 guys that have power. I just think that Menafield has a little more power, but he gassed out in his first couple fights. And I think he's learned how to fight now and how to pace himself a little bit. I think he's a little more well-rounded. So in the end, I think Knight, he's going to be the one having nightmares here. Menafield, I think, is going to take the next step and might even want to change his name to Nuclear after this fight. So we'll go with Alonzo Atomic Menafield. And then Manel Starboy Cape over Zhalgas Zugumulov. So here's a case where I think you have a guy that Cape that he used to just feel that he was in his own little world, and I don't think he understood that he needed to put more punches together, more combinations, and be more busy. The first fight, he thought he won, and he just didn't land any blows. But he was brought over from the Ryzen promotion in Asia, which is pretty well thought of and regarded. And I think he's got really good stand-up. I think he has a lot of weapons. He just is starting to get a little busier now. So what he did was he lost those first 2 fights, close decisions. Then he righted the ship in the last fight. He won with a beautiful flying knee KO in the first round. Zhumagulov, he ended up dropping his first 2 decisions. He righted the ship, but he beat a fighter that was 0-4 in the UFC, who the UFC subsequently released. So he's a gritty guy. I just don't think he has the weapons. I think he's outmatched here. So I think when the final bell rings, I think we're going to see a 3-round unanimous decision victory for Cape here. Probably something like 30-27 on all the cards. And then an NFL game, I like New England on Monday night.
So do I.
I'm looking at Buffalo, and at one point I thought they were the best team in the NFL. Now all of a sudden, their best defensive back and a kid who pretty much shut down half of the field. He's out for the year with an ACL injury. Their offensive line has not fared well of late. They've allowed Allen to be sacked numerous times. He's actually fumbled the ball 4 times this year, thrown 8 interceptions. I think New England just does what they need to do with Belichick. They're taking on his personality, running the ball, stopping the run. Their quarterback, Mac Jones, not turning the ball over, 9 touchdowns, just 2 interceptions. Wrong team's favored. New England, 27-24 over Buffalo. Wrong team favored. And if they win this game, this is crazy. They'll have a 1-game lead headed into their bye week.
Belichick does it again, huh?
Yeah, he does.
Wow. Well, listen, tremendous stuff. ParamountSports.com is the website. What can people find at ParamountSports.com this month?
So we call this month Double Down December. Last year, from the start of December through the Super Bowl, we won 37 of the last 46 games. It was an epic run. So it started off. We won Dallas last night. Should have been bigger. Thought Kellen Moore called a really poor game for the Cowboys. They probably should have won by more, but sometimes you got to take a win in the NFL. So normally it's $297. If they use coupon code SAVE200, I'm gonna make Cyber Monday sales look like child's play. SAVE200. They get the entire month of December, $97. They want to go through the Super Bowl, which is mid-February this year. Remember, they added that extra week, so it doesn't end the first week in February. It's mid-February. Just $197. Use coupon code SAVE300. So for the month of December, use coupon code SAVE200. Just $97. If you want to get through the Super Bowl, my phone service, use coupon code SAVE300. $197. ParamountSports.com.
And this was loaded. We got a ton of picks today. Michigan over Iowa, Pitt over Wake Forest, Houston over Cincinnati, potential upset there. The UFC, Metafield overnight, Manel Cape to win, and New England over Buffalo in the NFL. So absolutely loaded today. Lee Sterling, cannot thank you enough, my friend. Have a wonderful weekend.
You too. Take care.
Awesome. Excellent stuff as always there by Mr. Paramount Sports himself. All right, Manny Chang, before we run through some shout outs here, you were telling me in the private chat you've got a tweet you want to show based off of Manny Diaz in Miami. So let me check this out. I've always got to, my eyes are starting to go, so I just got to make this full screen. Andrea Adelson, who's pretty plugged in with Miami. I think she's an alum. Whatever your opinion on whether Manny Diaz should return, Miami is treating him like yesterday's trash. And that is a poor reflection on its leadership and administration. If you want someone else, fine. But making him go out and recruit like this is ridiculous. I'm of two minds with this, okay? Some of this, I think, and I know, of course, Manny Chang, the Gator lover, is going to agree.
No. Explain to you at the beginning.
You're lagging there. You sound like a robot.
Right, we're gonna stay or go.
He sounds like a robot.
If would you want to be a part of it again? If the less you think other guy make a
You got to go back after the show and watch yourself because you sound like a slow motion robot. I see a lot of people saying this, and it's a matter of perspective. All right, that Miami has kept on Manny Diaz. They haven't decided. They've let him hang in the wind. And I mentioned at the top of the show, I said it at the top of the show, he's in purgatory. Like Miami has left him in purgatory. But I think it's up to the person to decide how much real sympathy you have for that. I want to take honest to God reactions in the live chat. Like, do you do you feel bad right now for Manny Diaz? Because he still is very highly compensated. And there is, I believe, still a chance he does keep this job. So I know that there are a lot of people out there who say either shit or get off the pot. That if you don't want him to be your coach, fire him, run a search, don't leave him hanging in the wind like this. And I get that perspective. I get it. I think in the case of Miami, people have to understand this coaching search is so much more complicated than a normal coaching search because you also have an athletic director search happening simultaneously with decisions on the final head coach. And, Miami, they've been telling reporters, we'll see if they stick to this or not, because I think if they could hire Mario Cristobal midnight tonight, I think that they would, even without having an AD in place. But they have been telling reporters that they want to have an athletic director in place and make him or allow him to make the final decision on the head coach. And so, yeah, there's no doubt Manny is in a tough spot. And to give Manny Diaz credit here, everything that I've heard about his recruiting process over the last week when he's been in limbo, everything I've heard is he is handling it like such a professional. There was a quote this week from the father of Ja'Cory Brown, who's a committed quarterback, and the dad was really impressed because he asked Diaz, like, how do I know you're going to be coaching this team? And like Diaz had a really good answer. Like, hey, you never know, when you commit to play somewhere, you can't necessarily count on a coach for being there for the next 3 or 4 years. Right. So, apparently he's been handling it with grace and with class. It's not an ideal situation for him. But it's not like they're definitely firing him. He might keep the job. And if anything, to me, I know that some people are playing the angle of, I feel so bad for Manny Diaz being in this position. And if you feel that way, fine. I'm sure it's been more difficult for him to sleep at night the last week than it was prior to that. I get it. To me, I look even more at it makes Miami look indecisive, right? That I look at that angle as much as I would look at the Diaz angle to it, that it makes Miami look very indecisive. Because one of the reasons why you have so many people referring to the U as a circus right now. And, I can't believe the way that they're handling this. And part of it that doesn't look great in the public eye is you have so many links to other head coaches when you still have a head coach in place. So it's not the best look. The optics aren't great. I think optics are the word that best described this. The optics are not great. And yeah, is it an unideal spot for Manny Diaz to be in? He's probably as anxious as the rest of us over these next few days, because I'd be very surprised if at some point by Monday we don't know whether he's the coach or not the coach anymore. So it's a tough situation for him to be in. But listen, man, I think how much human sympathy you have really depends on the perspective. Hold on, now Manny Chang is telling me he's got the tweet of the day. Well, can you flash in? Can you put in the tweet of the day then, sir? I would like to see it. Here we go. People are criticizing Deion Sanders for having Brittany Renner talk to his players, making sure they don't get trapped. But y'all the same ones who make memes of a player when he got to pay $200,000 child support each month. Y'all shut up. That is the tweet of the day. Absolutely. And you know what? I don't know if this has ever happened to Manny Chang. No one's ever even tried to trap me. Like I would love to be, just for a month, an elite athlete, because every now and again I'll go into my DMs, Twitter, Instagram, and somebody who has the avatar of an attractive woman has slid into my DMs. And I'm not looking for anything. I'm a happily married guy. I just want to feel wanted. Like I'm not looking to stray or anything like that. I just want to feel sought after. Yet every time I see somebody sliding into my DMs with the avatar of an attractive female, it's a bot 100% of the time. It's a bot, or it's somebody trying to sell me Ray-Ban sunglasses or life insurance. Like, man, I want somebody to try to trap me. That's a low-key dream of mine. More like a high-key dream of mine. There's really nothing low-key about it. All right, I want to remind you folks, before we officially get the weekend started, to support our great sponsors. I want to talk about Underdog Fantasy. Hadn't talked about them yet today. Guys, I have fun on this app every single week. And really, you can have fun on Underdog Fantasy every night, whether you're just selecting NFL players or NBA players. There's NBA games on every night of the week. Underdog Fantasy is providing an enhanced sports viewing experience. Underdog Fantasy is the best and easiest place to play fantasy football or basketball for big cash prizes, and their daily games are a lot of fun as well. On Underdog Fantasy, you just draft. No need to worry about waivers, lineups, or injuries. Underdog handles all of that for you. So go to UnderdogFantasy.com right now, download the app, draft your team, use our code 5RSN. That's 5RSN. They're going to give you a nice bonus for that. I love Underdog Fantasy because it's so easy to use. The mobile app is slick. The website is user-friendly. So do what I've been doing and what all of us have been doing here at 5 Reasons Sports. Go to UnderdogFantasy.com, join a league, draft a team, and that is it. You are good for the season, and use our code 5RSN. Folks, the newest partner that we have here on Donno Daily, we are a proud affiliate of BlockFi. These people are helping you save money, make money, grow your portfolios. Those who are already active in the crypto space should take advantage of this unbelievable offer. And if you've been looking to get started in crypto, and we've been on a bit of a dip today, so you buy the dip. That's usually the best time to get into it. Don't get in when it's at the top. Get in when it's a little bit below the top, my friends. You can open an interest account with your crypto and earn. And I got to download a new graphic because this month it's actually up to 9% APY. So earn up to 9% APY with your crypto. That is called passive income, my friends. And apply for the BlockFi Rewards Visa Signature Credit Card to earn unlimited 1.5% back in Bitcoin. So let's stack those sats, my friends. You can sign up at BlockFi with our referral link. If you read the show description down below, we place the BlockFi referral link in there. Use our link in the description and sign up at BlockFi, and let's make and save and grow our portfolios together, my friends. And speaking about growing your portfolios, we got a bunch of winners. We got a ton of winners today from our friend Lee Sterling at ParamountSports.com. We can bet those at BetUS.com. America's favorite sportsbook, BetUS.com. I tell people this all the time. It's like having a Las Vegas casino in your pocket because it's not just betting on games. They've got lines on everything. It's a full-service sports book. I'm on there daily. I'm betting international soccer. I'm betting NBA games, NFL games, NHL games. I'm betting UFC fights on the weekend. And it's not just placing bets with props, live betting on all of it, by the way. They also have a full casino right on their website. I play blackjack for real money. You can bet as little as $1 on blackjack or as high as you want to if you're a high roller, and you can make and bet real money in blackjack. So many other table games, slot games on there. It's like having Las Vegas in your pocket. BetUS.com. It's America's favorite sports book. They've been around for nearly 30 years. They're in their 27th NFL season, and they have the best bonus in the industry. And yes, you can use it in Florida, by the way. People ask me that all the time. Sign up at BetUS.com. Use our code 5RSN125 and get a 125% sign-up bonus with our code 5RSN125. You bet, you win, you get paid. BetUS.com. And yes, the official sports bar of Donno Daily, the Quarterdeck Seafood Bar and Neighborhood Grill with flat screen, high definition TVs covering every wall. You will not miss a minute of the big game or the big fight at the Quarterdeck. They have locations all over South Florida. The food is so delicious, man. I love the fresh seafood, the fresh mahi-mahi. I love to build my own poke bowl. The sushi selections are awesome. Their burgers are to die for. The All-American burger is freaking delicious. If you haven't tried it yet, try it. The French dip sandwich, Manny Chang's favorite, the jerk chicken sandwich, is unbelievable. They've got the key lime cheesecake, which is the best dessert. It is the perfect way to finish every meal. Guys, the quarterdeck is a great place to wet your whistle. If the Miami Heat lose tonight at Indiana and tomorrow in Milwaukee, you're going to want to down some of those 2-for-1 drinks, 2-for-1 happy hour all day, every day at the quarterdeck. It's a great place to watch the NFL, great place to watch the conference championship games. When you go out to the quarterdeck on a weekend, Saturdays and Sundays, take advantage of the 5 for $15 buckets of ice cold imported beer or high noon hard seltzer, or mix and match those to your heart's content. It is such a great place to drink, such a great place to make new friends, to watch the games while you're eating that delicious food. And they have the patios outdoors at their locations with the big TVs out there. Guys, it is an experience. Get out there if you haven't tried it, or if you haven't been out there in a while, get out to the quarterdeck. If you want to peep their menu before you go, or find the location nearest to you, you can visit them on the web at quarterdeckrestaurants.com. The Quarterdeck, come for the food, stay for the fun. So I want to know what JP in the chat knows or what he's smoking. Either way, well, what do you know or what are you on? Because he's been saying this in the chat that it's over. And I think he's talking in regards to Mario Cristobal. And I can't tell if he's saying it's over as in we're not getting him, or if he thinks it's over as in we are getting him. You need to clarify a little bit more, JP. I don't know if you know anything or if you think you know something. I don't even know what you're trying to say. Is it over in a good way or is it over in a bad way? But JP, regardless, love the fact that you're watching. Welcome to the show. Welcome to the chat. David, fantastic. He says, Miami team's not exactly classy. Just ask Stephen Ross. Yeah, remember when Stephen Ross... Oh, we got Robot Manny again.
Hello.
I feel like I'm talking to R2D2 over there.
Mario.
Really?
Yes. John, because it's aggressive with what we...
Okay, yeah, you know what? Shut off your robot self because I found the tweet. Here's what Manny was trying to say. Here's what he was trying to say. John Canzano from the Oregonian tweeted out, and we predicted this would happen. This is exactly the way we predicted it. And we don't know if he's accepting it or not, but we knew the extension offer would come. Source at Oregon confirms University of Oregon has a contract extension offer in front of Mario Cristobal. Quote, it's aggressive and in line with what we've seen this week, per source. Wow, Brian Kelly and Lincoln Riley dollars, I'm told. Oh, it's over. That's not good. Oh, no. That's not good. Oh, I hope he cares more about croquetas than he cares about money, because I don't think you can get good croquetas in Eugene, Oregon. Mario, don't do it, Mario. Don't shatter my dreams, because here's what I'm afraid of. If Mario signs that extension, what if Miami doesn't want Lane? I think Lane wants Miami. I want Lane. The feeling is mutual. I don't know if he wants me, but I want Lane. I don't know if Miami wants Lane, though. Please. Mario. It's me, Mario. Don't do this to me, man. So that's what JP was talking about. Yeah, you know what? Mario, do it for mom. Your mom lives here. What if he moves his mom over there? Has he ever thought of that? That could be a problem. Mario hates his mom, confirmed. Mom, please. Mrs. Cristobal, please convince him. Oh, our program is back to nothing. Another year of Manny Diaz. Another year where we're going to go 7-5, and he's going to talk about new beginnings, and it's only getting started. Oh no, I can't take any more of it. I'm no longer a Hurricanes fan. I'm just I don't know. I don't know what I am. I'm in a big identity crisis. I don't know who I am anymore, folks. This is bad. IMAX, thank you for watching. Miami Trev, thank you. They were talking about pies in the chat. I do like pecan pie is one of my favorite pies. I like that one a lot. Perfect Q, thank you. Ryan, thank you. If I sound a little bit down right now, it's because right now there is a giant extension offer on Coach Cristobal's desk, courtesy of Phil Filthy Rich Knight. And I'm worried he's going to sign it. I'm worried he's going to put pen to paper and he's going to shatter all my hopes and dreams with one signature. Oh my God. Robot Manny. Take the cannoli. Thank you so much for watching. Thank you. Cap for Life. Thank you again for the donation. You are way too kind, sir. We got another super chat in here. I'll get to that one as well. Innes Campbell, thank you so much for tuning in. God, I'm ruined. Mario, please. Mario, if you're listening, there's more to life than money, okay? There is more to life than money and probably unlimited sneakers and tracksuits, Nike branded stuff, jersey combinations. All you can play in like 100,000 different colors over there. There is more to life than money. You've got family here. You have family. You have fellow alumni. You have people down here that love you. You know what the people in Oregon see when they look at you? All they see is dollar signs and wins and losses. That you are just binary code to those people, those greedy money lovers over in Oregon. In Miami, you are family. You are part of the fabric of this community. You are beloved down here. People don't just look at you as a meal ticket, a very handsome meal ticket, I might add. They look at you as a part of the tapestry, the beautiful, beautiful tapestry that is the University of Miami history. Please, some things are more important. Love, history, familia, croquetas, cocaine. I'm not saying he's into it, but we have a lot of it down here. I'm just throwing that out there. I don't know who needs to hear that, but I'm just throwing that out there. There are more important things in life than just money. Oregon, it seems like kind of a dark, dreary place. I've never been there, but why would I go there? It's a stop. It's a rest stop between California and Seattle. Like there's nothing for you in Oregon. Joey Harrington's legacy, like there's nothing for you in Oregon. You come to South Florida, my friend, your family, your friends. We all love you down here, Mario. Come. Just come. Don't think about it. Don't even think about it. We'll offer you enough money. You'll be fine. No state income tax here. I bet you in Oregon, with all the Antifa and everything they got over there, the state income tax is probably through the roof. There's no Antifa in Florida. Just get your ass down here, man. Oh my God. Who else got in? Shake Money. Thank you so much. And Shake Money, by the way, huge shout out. Thank you so much for the generous donation. And go Panthers, go FIU. And Mario was a former FIU head coach. How about that? Roadrunner, thank you so much. Innes, I think I maybe already shouted him out. Alex M, thank you so much for tuning in today. John Featherland, thank you so much. I can't. Oh, here we go. Every time I think they're going to stop letting me scroll up, I could scroll up a little bit more. Bishop Sycamore's Finest, one of my favorite usernames. Thank you so much for tuning in. Got a lot of comments today, which is great. Now we're all miserable for Miami fans. I mean, I'm not miserable yet. I'm anxious because I don't know for sure if he's going to sign it, but there's more to life than money. Like if like a job in Siberia offered me 5 times what I make, I'm not going to accept it. Why do I want to live in Siberia? Oregon is the Siberia of the United States of America. It's, you don't want to be over there, Mario. It snows over there. Like, who wants that? Who wants that in their life? Clemente, thank you so much for tuning in. Devin Jordan, thank you. Love you always. This is one of our chronics. David, I may have shouted him out already. I don't know. I'm drunk on misery right now. Miami Sports Music. Oh, my guy, Stephen D. Thank him for joining us. That was incredible when he was on with us earlier. Jason Beadle, thank you so much for getting in there. Anyone else I missed? Oh, Louis Sung Sr. Love Louis Sung. Thank you so much for tuning in. Oh. Oh, and Manny reminds me in the private chat. There's also, he's got a great point. I don't know why I went right to cocaine and I skipped this. Great women down here, and the coffee too. Cafecito, beautiful women down here. And so, although I think Mario's a happily married guy, he's probably not concerned about that. But the Cuban coffee, you need that, man. That's a part of life. All right, thanks everyone for tuning in. Huge shout out again to Stephen D for joining us, Lee Sterling, of course, Manny Chang in the back. He's hitting home runs left and right. Manny is awesome, and even though he's a hater on the University of Miami, he's still a great guy. We will talk to you again next time. We'll be back Monday, 3 p.m. right here on Donno Daily on the 5 Reasons Sports Network. Ciao. Oh, Manny left. I have to close it out myself. I was striking the pose, like waiting for Manny to hit the sign off button. Hold on. All right, I'll talk to you guys next time on another episode of Donno Daily on the 5 Reasons Sports Network. Ciao.